Today, Friday, the 2nd of January 2015, we out here with Miss Philip Carter, a grandmother that is concerned over the death of her grandchild on the 1st of January 2015 on New Year's Day. I understand basically that it was a complicated pregnancy where the delivery was done at Westdam Hospital, Best Hospital, and as a result, the child was asked to be taken to Georgetown Public Hospital for special attention. At that hospital, that facility, the baby died, as I said, on the 1st of January 2015, New Year's Day. And the grandmother is out here protesting in front of the Ministry of Health, and she wants an audience with the Minister of Health, Dr. Barry Ramsaran. And basically, we're going to listen to the grandmother to hear exactly what is her plight and her demands.
I demand that my grandchild should have been kept in hospital for observation, seeing that he stole in the mother womb and it was a cesarean case, and she should be monitored rather than sending home very early. Because when I was waiting at the hospital yesterday, that day when they took the baby, I was upset because she should have been there with the ambulance from Best in time to save the baby life. But when the mother reached us, so she told me they didn't get an ambulance from the Western Hospital to take the child. So when any mother, as a mother would have been, grandmother would have upset to know if you delay someone who is taking oxygen, like the baby's on self-support, on support, sorry to say self, the baby is on oxygen and in danger, would be not comfortable. So I was asked to leave the intensive care emergency by the guard. They said that I have no rights to stay there with my daughter, only the mother could stay. And the mother could be alongside my daughter. And they chased me about 4 times out the emergency.
Is it at Best Hospital?
No, Georgetown Public Hospital.
Georgetown Hospital?
Yeah.
Public Hospital.
Yeah, I went upstairs to complain to Mr. Khan, and he wasn't there. So I explained to his secretary, Michelle. So before I explained to Michelle, I called the PS secretary, Minister PS. And Minister PS secretary told me to talk to Michelle. And Michelle called a woman at the emergency and tell her to allow me to see the baby. When they asked me to allow to see the baby, they give me a few seconds. They said I can't stay long to look at the baby. They asked me to leave. But there's a young man who's serving car, chart and sharing. They all object with the guard, insist that I must leave inside the emergency and go outside. I want to know if someone is dying. You shouldn't be at the last moment to see the breath of that person, which is my first grand in my life.
Okay, well, this is not about how you were treated. Let us speak about how your daughter was treated at the Best Hospital and how you think your grandchild was treated the last few days or hours of that grandchild life. Okay? Do you think that the hospital, at Best Hospital, did a good professional job?
No, because...
And do you think the situation at Georgetown Public Hospital in which your grandchild was treated, was it done professionally?
Well, I always...
Do you think they did all that they could do?
To save the child.
To save that child?
Well, I feel I would not blame Georgetown Hospital. I got all my children at Georgetown Hospital. And I kept telling my daughter, I said, girl, when you to deliver this baby, go to Georgetown Hospital. I said, you get the best care there. I said, if you go to Best with this baby, you get the best death. I keep telling her that because they are slow. Not to say they are not good, I would not criticize them. But they are slow with the ambulance, and for the ambulance to bring you to town, and the time they would take, you would die. I was told by my daughter Moila, that they were waiting long for an ambulance. So the Georgetown Hospital could not have done much because of the delay. To me, apparently, when I see that condition of my grandson, it was too late for the Georgetown Hospital to do. It was to bring that child back. I blame Westdam Hospital because when she had the cesarean, and before she go into that labor, before they take off the cesarean, I told them that they said that my daughter said, baby, expected 6 o'clock. And nurse told me that, don't worry to that. Don't worry, the 6 o'clock and you're going to 8, 9 o'clock. I said that, oh, 6 o'clock pass. And then sharply after they said, Mom, come. This girl baby messing her and it may not live, it's danger. She has to do surgery, come sign. I said, I won't sign because y'all already got tip on dying. I said, if y'all got to do what y'all got to do to save her life.
So what is your daughter's condition presently?
Well, someone may looking as if they're healthy.
So they discharge her?
She was discharged.
How long after?
3-4 days after the surgery. And if the baby could die, I think she could die too, because you don't know what is going on in her tummy. So, because if you think she's not getting medication for that tummy, nothing. I don't think she's on medication.
Take her to a private doctor?
Nothing, I do nothing as yet because she was focusing on the baby. She thinks she had a baby, but she didn't think, she don't know, she didn't have no baby.
So she know the baby died?
Yes, she called me and tell me that.
Okay, so...
Yesterday she was at the maternity ward.
So this is the situation. The Minister of Health, Dr. Barry Ramsaran, indicated, yes, everybody knows that Georgia Public Hospital is the premier health institution of Guyana. They have excellent doctors and they are fully equipped. They have a problem with beds. The problem with beds, the minister explained that is because everybody rushed into Georgia Public Hospital and causing an overcrowded situation. When they could go to the other health facility, the other regional hospitals in the various regions and remove that burden from the Georgia Public Hospital. But the minister have to ensure that the various regional hospital and other health facility are properly equipped and staffed with the relevant expertise to deal with situation and not wait until a complication develops to transfer them to the public hospital. In that case, people should go to the public hospital in the first place. So the various regional hospitals have to ensure that they have proper equipment, proper trained doctors, and also ambulance in case they need to refer a person for emergency case to the Georgia Public Hospital. So this is basically the situation. When we have reports like this, the first day of the year, of a death, a newborn baby death, it's not good. It's not a good indication. It drives fear in mothers to be that, you know what, we're going to rush to Georgia Public Hospital when we're about to deliver, and you're going to cause an overcrowded situation at that institution, which will not benefit the institution because they will not be capable of dealing with the situation. So the Ministry of Health have to ensure that the various health institutions in this country are properly equipped and properly staffed with experienced doctors and nurses, and so you could build that confidence in the various community, in the various region, that they could rely on a particular health institution, health facility in that area, so they could have faith in their system, in their region, and not burden or overburden the Georgia Public Hospital in this situation.
I could say something. I would not blame the hospital. No. I would not blame the hospital.
Which hospital?
Georgetown.
No, that is what I'm saying.
I get all my children there and I was well treated. And that is why they chased me out the emergency. I say, why my daughter go when I tell her come to public? I get the best care at public. I vexed with the mother because when this girl took in labor, I said, don't come to public because I got my children and I was okay. When I got sick with the fallopian tube and perico, I could have died with the baby in the tube. Okay. When I reach accident in town, I save it, I die. But I blame West Dem for delaying the ambulance.
Okay, good, thank you. So, what is your next move after this?
Well, I want Minister to deal with the case, and I think I would get Minister to deal with it.
You made an appointment to see
Well, I would try to do my utmost best, but I grieve in years ago. I was the first grandmother child. I'm a first grand, and you know, I'm confused. But I love my daughter, is my first daughter to give birth. My first children out of 5 give birth. And I was so excited. I got friends here. And I kept telling them I'm getting anxious. But that's the same. Never too over anxious.
Okay, good, thank you.
Never too over anxious. God is in charge. But I asked on the TV, they have to compensate me, my daughter, 50 million. Money cannot bring back life. But our birth, remember they say, people said when baby's stolen you, very rare you get children. And when you do surgery, that means you have a limited amount of babies to get. And she needs the money to last her throughout her lifetime, that she can keep it and reflect on her life, because she go through a lot of pain for bringing forth this child.
So you asking for compensation?
Yes, if we compensate
for
this.
Daughter?
Yes. I don't want it to give to the mother, I want it to myself to do that. Because they blocked me for taking care of my daughter and my grandchild. If I had more access to my grandchild, you would be alive.
So you seek counsel, you seek legal advice on this
Well, my lawyer told me they would take a legal step
and you think
to proceed with it soon.
You think you will be successful?
All right, I would have mercy and see whatever could be done. Whatever God say would carry it. If God see a turning point for the earth with something, I'll thank God for that. I put all my trust in God.
Okay, I wish you the best in your endeavor.
And I thank you for coming to because
$50 million compensation.